Welcome to this video showing you the different types of thermal stones if you're thinking of setting up a business with thermal stone massage or reflexology. Now, what I wanted to show you today is the actual bag that it comes in and the different types of stones that there actually are. So the stones, the actual thermal stones, come from basalt stones, which can be found in volcanic areas like Mexico, etc. And when we're doing a massage, there are a number of different stones that we can use. Now, first of all, starting off, there is the placement stones. So these are quite large stones and are normally brought individually from suppliers. And what you can do is you can wrap them up in couch roll paper, or put them in a special mitt, like a protective cloth area that keeps them warm. And then actually, as long as they're protected and covered, you can place them nicely underneath the shoulders, especially in the areas like the rhomboids. So these ones are fantastic for placing those like that. And I bought 2 of them many years ago. The other thing you can have, sometimes you'll get basalt stones that are like round, and these are really good for the hips or placing underneath the knees. They can be placed anywhere really. Again, they need to be covered. You should never ever place the basalt stones on direct skin. I know there are lots of adverts showing all these different beautiful basalt stones placed directly on the skin, but you definitely shouldn't, because otherwise people can actually burn themselves if you do that, because the heat will penetrate the skin, and because they're static and they're in one position, the top layer, the epidermal layer, will actually start burning, and then they may get blisters, etc. And we definitely don't want that for ourselves or our clients. And then it gradually gets slightly smaller to these kind of stones. So the thermal stones are fantastic for when you get a backache. You can lie on them yourself, even though you're the practitioner, or when you're doing a treatment in reflexology with the stones, you can get your client to lay down on these large placement stones. Or if you're considering doing thermal stone massage, the same thing. They can be placed in different areas, especially along the chakras on the back, as long as they're covered in either couch roll paper or some kind of warm mitt. Now, going down to lower stones, you've also got a shape like this one, which is beautiful, and this is actually my favorite stone. This is known as a trigger stone, and it's great for getting in to those deep areas that need deeper attention. And you can even use the sides of it for when you're massaging. It's a great stone for reflexing the large areas on the foot as well, for doing foot reflexology. We also have these size, which generally are great for large areas, for, you know, like the back, etc., for warming the muscle up when you're doing the massage. So when you're doing your massage, this is great. These basalt stones are absolutely great, this size, for massaging those particular areas, warming the muscle up so you can really work the muscle when it's warm, not when it's cold. Now, if you're considering doing reflexology with stones, then I would recommend that you get a whole load of really small stones, so you can work the feet. And I'll show you the different kinds we've got. So you can see here, it's a very, very small stone, and these are really good for getting in all the small areas on the feet, especially like the toes, the small toe, etc. And then the heat conducted through these areas will go into the body, and it's just amazing. So it's a way of bringing the natural world from outside into your treatment room, and also saving your hands. And we've got slightly larger ones like this, which again can be used for reflexology. So the smaller stones tend to be used for reflexology. And what we can also do is we place these kind of stones in between the toes. And what it does is it separates the toes beautifully. So when you take the stones out of in between the toes or in between the fingers, they're still quite separated. And then finally, we're coming down to other types of stones, which are medium in size or very small. These can be used on the feet as well. So I've given you a selection of placement stones, stones that can be used on the body, you know, the type of size used, and also the type of size used for foot reflexology. Now, the other thing to take into account when doing this is to be aware that the larger stones retain their heat the longest. And then if we look at the really smaller stones, they lose their heat the most. And what I'm going to do after this video is show you what the Volcini bag looks like. And in the old days, I used to have it was a proper, you know, respectable heater cabinet where you poured water into it and that would heat the stones. Nowadays, we've got these Volcini bags, which are an absolute blessing to my practice. So there you go. That's the different types of stones that you can use for thermal stone reflexology or also for thermal stone massage. If you like this video, please share it with someone else that needs to hear about protecting their hands and also bringing the thermal stones into their practice. You can find me also at Reflexology UK and also at teresarich.com. So if you're interested in any simple courses and you're a qualified massage therapist or reflexologist, then allow the stones to actually be brought to your home or your clinic so you can either lay on them if you get back problems or muscular problems, or if you want to take it to your clients.